Attention, Amoeba shoppers. Please put your hands together and give a warm welcome to the Crooked Jades.
On a Saturday afternoon, the Haight-Ashbury district, once a haven for the seminal rock bands of the 60s, echoes with the strains of songs that harken back to a much earlier musical era, an era known as old time. The Crooked Jades are causing young music fans in the Bay Area to reconsider their preconceptions of country music.
It's not music that I normally listen to, but I like this band in particular.
They have a real knack for getting kind of like these eerie songs juxtaposed with these really like upbeat songs. They got a real haunting sound, as you can hear, and it's kind of music that makes a man weep, you know. Got a pretty big crush on the mandolin player. She's pretty gorgeous.
Crooked Jades leader Jeff Kaiser started the band in 1994 with the intent of fusing old-time music with a modern attitude.
There's definitely a more sort of tattoo and purist generation that are coming out to shows. And that's fantastic because that's exactly what the Crooked Jades want to do. I mean, we really want to pass on the music. The preservation of American roots music is really important to us.
It's okay to dance in the aisles. Feel free. Let go.
The band's slogan is "Old time is not a crime," a phrase borrowed from renegade skateboarders.
It used to be really square to play old-time music. It was that fiddle and banjo crap. It was very square. Now it's become very hip. There's something about that darker edge, that hanging out with the bootleggers, that I think perhaps would appeal to the more outlaw of the younger generation.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Crooked Jades.
This room is basically where I do most of my songwriting. I just come in here and start pulling records out and listening, and this is where I develop a lot of the ideas for the Crooked Jades. This one right here, this Folkways, I found a gem by Doc Reed and Vera Hall Ward. It's called Job, Job, and I do a version of it. This is what inspired me, and you can really tell this is amazing.
Oh, Job, Job, what you rang, oxen dead, Job, Job, what you
Oh, Joe, Joe. Oh, what you rang. Oh, your oxen dead.
We love to go back to that time when all those instruments were being used, whatever you could get your hands on, a bagpipe, a cello, a jaw harp, anything that can make this music.
Old-time music was forged from the melting pot itself, a blend of sounds from Scots, Irish, British, and African immigrants. But when radio became widespread in the 20s, the music lost some of its eclectic edge for the sake of broad appeal.
Essentially, Crooked Jades are about sort of regaining what was lost, all those crooked fiddle tunes. They may be unusual and odd and sort of maybe not that pleasurable to listen to or play, but once you get inside them and once you start to understand them, you'll start to see the beauty. Well, the first time I heard old-time music was actually my father playing the harmonica. And he used to listen to a radio station from Wheeling, West Virginia that had a huge signal. And he learned a lot of old-time fiddle tunes on the harmonica. he would be playing that, and I was just starting to learn guitar, so I started to back him up on guitar.
With his foundation in old-time music laid, Jeff set out to find like-minded musicians. He invited them to his house for jam sessions in the kitchen, which is where, a dozen years later, they still play.
The kitchen, because it has the best acoustics in the house, and that's where all the refreshments are. So it makes it all very convenient right there.
The thing that I've always told the Crooked Jades is that they are a string ensemble, and they are so unique and often avant-garde in their playing and style that I really feel that they should be playing places like Davies Hall. It is not simple music. It may sound simple, and certainly you can pick up a fiddle and a banjo and guitar and play it in a fairly simple manner. But if you're good in it, it is as complex and deep as any kind of music you're going to play on this earth.
Playing old-time music makes me feel more grounded and closer to the earth.
My master's gonna sell me shallow ground.
In my day, I feel a lot of alienation, and just, playing a piece of wood that's, 100 years old, and singing a song of strife and turmoil, all of that sort of brings me back to where I came from and how this whole country got started. And it gives me something to grab onto. And I sort of connect with that sort of suffering and try to use that to bridge into 2006 right now.
As the Crooked Jades prepare to leave on their European tour, they make an appearance at the Starry Plough in Berkeley.
Squirrely, he's a pretty thing, wears a bushy tail. Eats up all the mossy's corn, hearts it on a rail.
My mind doesn't wander when the Crooked Jades are on stage. They always surprise me when they play because they'll always just get to areas that I just didn't think it was going to. And it's very different. And the blend is just marvelous, and it keeps me listening.
Walk with me on the crooked road, straight and narrow, atrophy so.
We're giving everything, all our hearts are going into this, and we're just exposing ourselves raw.
Oh, pussy, how fine or wide.
For me, when I'm in the middle of a song, it seems like all my inhibitions are totally released, and I'm in this world that I feel totally accepted in.